Final round. Missed question corrections. Part 4. Lighting and electrical loads. Discharge luminaries with mogul-based, screw shell, lamp holders, may be connected on 50 amp circuits. Lamp holders with mogul base, screw shell, connected on 50 amp max circuit. Lamps, mogul base, screw shell, 50 amp max. Lamps, mogul, screw, 50 amps. Lamps, mogul base, screw shell, 50 amp max. Lamps, mogul, screw, 50 amps. What is the rating outlet allowed on 20 amp circuit? 15 amps, if there are multiple outlets on the same circuit. 15 amp outlet can be on 20 amp circuit, if there are multiple outlets. 20 amp circuit may have multiple 15 amp receptacles. Total rating of fixed appliances on 20 amp circuit shall not exceed 20 amps. 20 amp max rating of fixed appliances on 20 amp circuit. 20 amp circuit, fixed appliance, max appliance rating of 20 amps. Portable appliance on 20 amp circuit, 16 amps max. Max portable appliance rating on 20 amp circuit, 16 amps max. 16 amps max, portable appliance on 20 amp circuit. Total rating of fixed appliances on 20 amp circuit shall not exceed 20 amps. Portable appliance on 20 amp circuit, 16 amps max. Total rating of fixed appliances on 20 amp circuit shall not exceed 20 amps. Portable appliance on 20 amp circuit, 16 amps max. Residents with two 20 amp circuits need what amount of feeder? 3000 watts. Two 20 amp circuits need 3000 watt feeder. 3000 watt feeder on two 20 amp circuits. Minimum size conductor on 8 3/4 range, number 8 wire. 8 3/4 range needs number 8 wire. Number 8 wire on an 8 3/4 range. Having 4 20 amp 120 volt fluorescent lights, how much voltage on neutral? 20 volts. 4 fluorescent lights, 20 amp 120 volts, will have 20 volts on neutral. Having 4 20 amp 120 volt incandescent lights, how much voltage on neutral? 0 volts. No voltage on incandescent lights neutral. 4 incandescent lights, 20 amp 120 volts, will have 0 volts on neutral. No voltage incandescent lights neutral. Most quiet fluorescent lighting operation? Type A. Type A fluorescent is most quiet. Power supply of 20 amp, 115 volt branch circuit is 2300 max. 20 amp, 115 volt circuit, 2300 max. 20 amp, 115 volt circuit, 2300 max. How many wires supply power to a building? 3. Wire amount supply a building? 3. Minimum size heating furnace, without cooling? 15 amps. Minimum furnace, 15 amps. Minimum size wires for home with electric heating? 200 amps. Home with electric heating needs 200 amps. 5,000 square foot home, all electric, minimum size service? 300 amps. All electric home, 300 amps. Fixed multi-outlet assembly, several appliances used at same time, each foot or fraction considered per outlet is 180 VA. Multi-outlet assembly, multiple appliances used same time, each foot or fraction, 180 VA per outlet. Minimum voltage allowed on 120 VAC motor? 108. Minimum voltage on 120 VAC motor, 108. What is normal voltage drop of number 14 wire at 15 amps over 50 feet? 2.5 volts. Voltage drop, 14 wire, 50 feet, 2.5 volts. Voltage drop, 14 wire, 50 feet, 2.5 volts. 7 kW dryer at 240 volts, needs a number 10 wire at 30 amps. 7 kW dryer, 240 volts, number 10 at 30 amps. May ground an electric dryer to the neutral. Ground electric dryer to neutral. Standard lamp holders, 660 watts, will operate at less than 50 volts. Standard lamps, Less than 50 volt operation, 660 watts. Standard lamp, 50 volt operation, 660 watts. 440 square foot room, 20 fluorescent lights of 180 VA each. How many 120 volt 20 amp circuits needed? 2 circuits. 440 square feet, 20 fluorescent lights, needs 2 20 amp circuits. Show window, receptacles must be installed, directly above the window. Show window, receptacles must be installed, every 12 linear feet. Show window, receptacles must be installed, directly above window and, every 12 linear feet. Breaker buzz, 3 minutes, there is a short at, 100 feet. Breaker buzz, 3 minutes, short at 100 feet. 240 volt single phase motor, resistive load of 8,500 watts, what is current? 8,500 watts divided by 240 volts, current of 35 amps. 240 volt single phase motor, resistive load of 8,500 watts, what is current? 8,500 watts divided by 240 volts, current of 35 amps. X-ray equipment, rated at 50% of momentary load. X-ray equipment, rated at 50% of momentary load. 600 volt transformer, outline lighting, secondary current has max of 300 milliamperes. 600 volt transformer, outline lighting, secondary current has max of 300 milliamperes. Max output of 20 amp circuit? 2400 watts. Max output, 20 amps, 2400 watts. Max output, 20 amps, 2400 watts. Transformer rated, 35,000 volts, insulated dielectric fluid installed indoors, in a vault. Transformer rated, 35 kVA, insulated dielectric fluid installed indoors, in a vault. Transformer rated, 35,000 volts, insulated dielectric fluid installed indoors, in a vault. Transformer rated, 35 kVA, insulated dielectric fluid installed indoors, in a vault. Motor VA of 3-phase, 230, 460 volt, 30 HP motor with current of 40 amps at 460 volts. 31,869. 3-phase, 230, 460 volt, 30 HP motor with current of 40 amps at 460 volts. 31,869 VA. Motor VA of 3-phase, 230, 460 volt, 30 HP motor with current of 40 amps at 460 volts. 31,869. How many amps required on arc welding machine? 100 to 500 amps. That's a big arc Noah. Arc welder, requires 100 to 500 amps. That's a big arc Noah. Arc welder, requires 100 to 500 amps.